Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and connoisseurs of the written word. Today, we will talk about a word taken from pathology, medicine. Okay, it's a lovely word, and it deals with a phenomenon that is particularly painful. Now, if you talk to any doctor, or even um, patients, and ask them what is the greatest pain known to mankind, you'll be surprised with the answer. The answer is a kidney stone. A kidney stone. A kidney stone forms when calcium combines with a substance called oxalate, which is present in many foods. For example, spinach has a lot of oxalate, and nuts also, peanuts and so on, also have oxalates. Oxalate by itself is soluble in the blood and in the urine, of course. And calcium too is soluble in both the blood and in the urine. But when these two come in contact with each other, they form a substance called calcium oxalate, which is not soluble, which precipitates as a solid in the kidney and forms what is called a kidney stone, a calcium oxalate kidney stone. This is a problem for two reasons. Okay. First, as I said, it is intensely painful. I mean, we men think that a blow to the testicles is probably the worst pain known to man. Oh, yeah, it hurts like hell. But apparently, a kidney stone hurts even more. I've never had a kidney stone, so I wouldn't know. But uh, given that so many doctors and so many patients insist that it is the greatest pain known to man, I will defer to their verdict. So it hurts like hell. That's one problem. Okay, the second problem, and a far more serious one because it is life threatening, is the fact that these kidney stones, once they form in the kidney, they pass through a small narrow tube called the ureter, ureter, that connects the kidney to the bladder. Obviously, the kidney makes the urine, the bladder stores the urine, and then you basically urinate it out from the bladder whenever you feel like it, whenever the bladder becomes full of urine. Okay? So the urine has to travel from the kidney to the bladder before it can be urinated out. Now, the free flow of urine from the kidney to the bladder is impeded by a kidney stone. A kidney stone, once it forms in the kidney, can travel down the ureter through the narrow passageway of this narrow tube called the ureter. And if it is small enough, it will pass through, come to the bladder, and it will be urinated out in the urine. Very painfully, mind you. It's not a painless passage, but it will come out. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes with the kidney stone, calcium oxalate kidney stone is sufficiently large, it will pass halfway through the ureter, stop halfway, and block up the ureter. This is serious because it means now all the urine flow has been backed up and it cannot pass freely to the bladder. So, this is an emergency condition requiring surgery for the removal of that blocking uh, kidney stone. Okay? So, the word, the scientific word, the word in pathology, the word in medicine to describe this blocking up, the stopping up of flow, is the word oppilation. Let us write it out. O P P I L A T I O N. Okay, so the word that describes this blocking up is oppilation. O P P I L A T I O N. Oppilation. It's a noun. Okay, there are two other words also that you should familiarize yourself with, and those words are O P P oppilate, okay, and this is a transitive verb. Okay, this here is a noun. Okay, there's a third word. The third word is O P P I L A T I V E. Okay, that of course is an adjective. Okay, so we have oppilation, we have oppilate, and then we have oppilative. Okay, so these three words can be used in the context of pathology, in the context of medicine. But if you're a poet, I'm sure, given how many things in life tend to get blocked up, tend to get stopped up, I'm sure you could find a poetic use for these words as well. But given that this word is given that we've already discussed the background for this word, namely in the context of calcium oxalate crystals, let us use these three words in this context. Okay, so let us start with the first word, oppilation. Oppilation. Oppilation in nephrology, that is the study of kidney diseases, oppilation in nephrology refers to the blocking up of the ureter, blocking up of the lumen of the ureter. Lumen means the inside gap or the passageway, okay? The lumen of the ureter by a kidney stone. Oppilation refers to the blocking up of the ureter by a kidney stone. So that's a very simple usage of the word oppilation. Let us now come to the transitive verb, VT, oppilate, Oppilate. Once again, with reference to kidney stones, you could say, given the large size of calcium oxalate kidney stones, it would be expected that they would oppilate the passageway, the lumen of the ureter. Okay, so uh, we have used the transitive verb form oppilate once again in the context of kidney stones. Now let us go to the adjective oppilative, Oppilave. Okay, the oppilative effects of a diet rich in foods containing oxalates have been known for a long time. Okay, so there we have a third usage, or we can also say more directly, the oppilative effects of kidney stones have been known for a long time since they produce intense pain and also prevent the free passage of urine requiring emergency surgery. Okay, so we have another usage for the word oppilative. Now, this is a direct medical application of the word um, oppilation. Let us now use it in a more metaphorical sense. Okay, let us, for example, refer to the fact that there are some bureaucrats who are really stubborn, who simply refuse to listen to your view, who hold up files, who prevent things from moving forward. Okay, so we can use the word oppilative in this context. He was the quintessential bureaucrat, extremely intransigent, extremely stubborn, and whose administrative actions were more oppilative than open. Okay, so you could in this case you're talking about someone who is obstructing the free flow of an administrative process. Okay, or you could say his administration was marked by oppressive oppilation. So that's one more way you could use the word oppilative. I'm sure if you think about it, when you consider the huge number of situations in which things get blocked up, I mean, sometimes our thought processes get blocked up. Sometimes an administrative process gets blocked up. Sometimes, as in medicine, a ureter gets blocked up, physically blocked up. So you have blockage not just in a physical setting, but you have blockage in an administrative setting, and we have a blockage also in a psychological setting. Okay, so feel free, even though this word is classically a word that resides in dictionaries on pathology or dictionaries on medicine, or it is also found, of course, in regular dictionaries, but less so. You could always use it in a metaphorical sense. Okay, one more usage of it. He was so obtuse. Obtuse means stupid. He was so obtuse that almost all of his actions were oppilative of effect rather than operational of effect. Okay, we've all met such morons. I mean, they don't allow anything to move forward, and you realize the wisdom of the saying, A chain is only as a chain is only as strong as its weakest link. One man in a bureaucracy can literally stop the entire process just because he's either too lazy to move the files forward, or because he doesn't understand the files, or he misunderstands the files, or out of sheer malice he wants to see you sweat. Okay, so these people constitute an oppilative oppression to us, clients who are dependent on them. So you could also say that there are many agencies operated by people who are extremely operative rather than operational in their actions. Okay, so this is just the tip of the iceberg. You can spin it in half a dozen different ways. Um, you could also refer to an orifice, the blocking of an orifice. For example, if you have a hole in a dam that's leaking water, a small hole in a dam, if you quickly plaster it, the dam won't give way. You won't have a catastrophe. So you could say the alert spotting of this tiny orifice in the dam and its quick oppilation with concrete saved the day. Okay, so that you could once again use it in a physical sense, but here in a more positive sense. You're stopping something disastrous from happening. So oppilation doesn't have to always be in a negative setting. You could also use it in a positive setting. The oppilation, the oppilation of this incipient orifice in the face of the dam by an alert hydroelectric engineer using concrete saved the day, prevented the crack from growing wider and the dam collapsing. So we have many situations like that where you need to block things up before things get out of hand. I'm sure people who live in the Netherlands and who have these huge dikes are very aware of any incipient orifices or holes developing in those dikes. They're very vigilant, and they're very familiar with the process of oppilation. Every person, every Dutch person is aware of how important it is to initiate oppilative actions on a dike that has developed any crack or crevice or hole. Okay, so oppilative can be very, very positive. It can be life saving. Okay, just as it can be life threatening when it blocks the ureter in a kidney. It can also be life saving depending on the context. So this word can be used positively, negatively, metaphorically, and it's a lovely word, oppilation. It sounds so regal, so um, uh, abstract. Oppilative, oppilate. So we have a noun, we have an adjective, and we have a transitive verb. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I think I'll stop here for now, and we'll get to another beautiful unknown word in the next episode. Bye.